Today's guest is a gifted vocalist, rapper, producer, and influencer from Newark, New Jersey. She is the product of music royalty, but stands firmly on her own 2 feet as a powerhouse. She's a fierce champion of self love, self help, and healing, and has been on an incredible spiritual journey that will be culminating in new music very, very soon. Give it up for Tahjere,
Yes.
Hey.
my Aries sister.
Yes. Aries gang.
I love y'all fire signs. I really do. Because y'all about
What's
action.
your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Okay. Oh, I love Libras.
Same.
Oh my God. That's because we're sister signs.
We are. We understand
Libras
each
been
other.
holding me down. They've been holding me down. I love y'all.
Thank you. You know, we do what we can.
Right. So where are you at today? You're in LA, right?
I'm in LA, yes.
Okay, dope. How were the holidays for you? Because you throw down.
I-
You cook.
I ate too much.
Fair.
And I paid for it.
Damn.
I think I ate Thanksgiving food for like an entire week.
Oh my God. It'd be like that.
And my immune system was so down that I just got really sick. So I'm like fighting off a cold right now. I got my tea. But nonetheless, the food was very yummy.
Right. Damn. Having a cold in LA is the worst too, because it's like, especially like today, it's nice out. So it's like, it don't feel like sick weather.
Right. I want to go outside.
On the East Coast, it's like, oh, I'm sick. It's cold. Let me do nothing.
Right. It makes sense.
Like how it feels today. It's been rainy all day. I actually got caught out in the rain today a little bit.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It wasn't like pouring, but I got caught. But hey.
I love that though. I miss that. I miss that about the East Coast. Yes. Like
we could trade places. You can have it. You can definitely have it.
When you go back east, are you in Newark? Are you in Brooklyn? Where do you normally stay? Or you kind of bounce around?
I kind of bounce around because it's like all my family's in Jersey, but then my friends are pretty much in the city. So, or I usually will try to stay like in West New York, Weehawken area, so that I'm close enough to the city and
that's right
close
across
enough,
the water.
You know, right?
That makes sense. I love that. We're gonna jump right into it real quick. We got a fun little icebreaker we prep just to kind of get the energy going based on your favorite artist, which you said was Michael Jackson. Which I was surprised. I thought it was Pharrell. I know he's up there, right?
Pharrell. I mean, the Neptunes are my favorite producers.
Okay.
You know.
Icons.
But Michael though, Michael is the blueprint.
Okay. That's fair. So I was going to ask you guys, it's a bit of it's supposed to be an icebreaker, but I kind of went a little ambitious, but I'm curious if you can possibly, if there is one Michael Jackson song to sum up your 2022, what would it be?
Ooh, I like that question. To sum up my 2022, okay, this year, this has been a year for me about self-discovery, and stepping into my power, letting go of things that no longer serve me. So if I had to put that into a Michael Jackson song, I think I would say, God, Yanni, that's tough. All right, I'm gonna say it, but nobody know. No, you know what? Bad.
Go off.
Bad.
You pivoted. I thought you were going to say Man in the Mirror based on what you said, but Bad makes sense.
Dang, that's kind of true, huh? But no, I went through that Man in the Mirror moment, but I think overall the energy was like, I'm bad, because it was like, I don't need this. I don't need you. Like, you know, like, yes. I'm realizing my strength. Like, hold up, I'm about to go kick ass next year. Like,
I'm here for Bad. I like that answer a lot.
So, yeah,
I'm here for that. You know, I'll take Man in the Mirror for me, but I love where you're at right now, because it mirrors a lot of what me and Amir have been talking about, this trajectory of like kind of letting things go. It's been a theme this year. So for you to say Bad kind of reprogrammed my year for me, because I'm like, wait a minute, I kind of do want to end my year dancing in the subway, just kind of fucking it up.
Right. Hello.
Taking shots at Prince. Like, I'm here for this.
Exactly.
I love it.
That part.
Amir, what's yours?
So It's 2 for me because we went from started off the year with Jam from the Dangerous album into just very like in your face, bodacious, feeling myself, you know. Then we got a little reflective and we went into Man in the Mirror. And I'm finding my way back to bad.
Okay. You know what? If we're doing Journey, I think over the summer I was definitely Stranger in Moscow. Top of the summer. It was giving that. It got a little dark.
Okay. Wow.
You know what's crazy? My summer was kind of dark too.
Was it? Damn. Do you want to elaborate? No.
I mean, it was just like I said. It was very dark to realize that certain people and things no longer served me, and it was people that I wanted to hold on to. And so I went through like this internal battle of like, how do I get myself out? And it felt very lonely. So that's what I mean by that. Yeah.
Let me find out we had the same year.
Probably so. I mean, let me tell you, astrology is real.
It is.
People don't be like, especially if you tell me you have like what are your big 3, Yanni?
I don't know. I think Amir was supposed to help me with that. Actually, weren't you supposed to help me figure?
I did. I have to send you your chart.
Okay.
You have it?
I haven't done it.
I have it.
Oh, you do?
I have it.
Come on, friend.
I'll pull it up.
Yes, it's so funny because, you know, we typically always ask people, oh, what's your sign? But now I'm like, what's your moon sign? What's your rising sign? Because it really does play a part in everything, you know?
How we experience stuff.
It does. I'm pulling a chart up.
When you were talking about, because you shot me over your bio and you were talking about being on this journey of self-help, self-love and healing, is that just specific to this year with what you've experienced, or is this an ongoing thing?
You know what? I think this year was the culmination of all of my 20s. You know, I'm 29. I'll be 30 in April. And so I think that's why this year was so significant, because once I realized, okay, I'm about to start a new decade, it made me want to do all of the shadow work, because I was like, I don't want to go into my 30s carrying all the, because man, my 20s was heavy.
Like,
I feel that.
I'm not gonna lie, like it was a lot. It was a lot of just life, like everything. And I'm very sensitive. I'm very emotional, and I feel everything like really deeply. So there was a lot of like in and out of depression, all for the past 10 years. And so this year in particular, I think I just took a moment to reflect on everything I had been through up until this point, to just try and like correct certain things. You know, where did I go wrong here? What caused this? Blah, blah, blah. Like trying to fine tune everything so that I can live my best life in my 30s.
Hell yeah.
That's
Kudos
real.
to you for catching that before 30. I mean, not that age is significant to a fault, but like not in the sense where we want to scare people, but it is a big transition going from your 20s into your 30s, and you're still in your Saturn returns, which I know about. But
did you just say Saturn return?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm learning.
I love when I can talk to people about stuff and they know, like, yeah, we here. Yes. No, that's exactly what I've been going through these past 3 years.
That Saturn return is real. That 27 to 31, rough.
Yeah.
But rough. If you get out of it alive, and by alive I mean if you really do the work like you're doing right now, like a lot of people that I've been getting to know as of late did during that time period, you do come out of it so much, like you're just like fully developed as a human. You know, you never stop doing the work, but I think that time period is so crucial because you do start to reassess your dreams. You start to reassess your relationships, with family, with friends, with yourself. A lot of that work is if you can't do that, it's a bumpy road. So kudos to you for getting to it while you're in the thick of it still.
Yeah, man.
Life moves fast. So to take a second, especially now, because we're post-pandemic, like it's not even like the world is shut down. No, people are moving, and you're like, hold on, I need something. I need time.
Right.
I love that.
I mean, I definitely, like, it started during the pandemic. I can honestly say that the pandemic was what slowed us all down. So that's what kind of began the process of me we had no choice but to sit with ourselves. And, it's like you can keep trying to force yourself to move and blah, 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 or you can actually just, like, maybe this is a sign from God that we need to sit down and rethink some things, So yeah, I definitely do. I'm grateful for the pandemic in a way, because it was the beginning of this process.
Come on.
Yeah, I feel like the pandemic really made us take like that really like honest, raw look at ourselves. Like, this is your life. Like, all of the distractions were stripped away from like work, hanging out, socializing. So like all you had was yourself and whoever you were around in that space you're in, and that's where a lot of the reflecting happens,
Absolutely.
And that's where you start to see shit that you don't like about yourself.
All right.
That part. Now, let me ask you guys something. I know y'all supposed to be interviewing me, but I got a question.
Please.
Family discussion.
Come on.
So during the pandemic, at any point, did either of you go on a diet?
No, I didn't. Absolutely fucking not.
Not a healthy diet.
Right. Okay. So look, so for me, like the beginning of the pandemic, when it first started, I want to say around May of 2020. At first, for the first month, I was Uber Eats, Postmates, child. But then I was like, okay, if we're really going to be sitting in the house this long, like, I don't want it to get out of control. So I put myself on a strict regimen. I would go to the park to jog and jump rope and all this stuff. And I ended up losing like 40 pounds.
Yes.
Gained it back.
It happens.
Gained it back.
That's okay.
Because we was locked down for 2 years.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle. Like, and that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I just wanted to, kind of segue into that conversation. Like, it's not easy, man. Especially in today's world, with all that is available to us at our fingertips.
Yep. No, I love that segue, and I appreciate that because that's definitely that's initially, so like background on myself and Amir and how we connected. He was doing this incredible photo series showcasing different male body types, plus size, different types of men, and I super connected with him and his work. And when I found that he was a dope producer, rapper, he sent me this beat, which ended up being Can't Compete, and I was so inspired by the work that we decided to write this Big Bodies anthem. And it's been so crucial for us, especially for me, because you met me as a songwriter. I was behind the scenes, so I didn't know how much pressure is put on us that are in the forefront. And becoming an artist and working with Amir, who has a history in photography and fashion, I started to see how much bodies are scrutinized. And I know obviously men have it tough, but as a woman, I know that it's probably even 10 times worse, especially someone of the industry who's grown up in this. So this pod and this discussion is really for us to just be able to create space for ourselves to understand that, like, we all have a similar journey, we all have a similar trajectory, but we can all also reclaim our dreams at the end of this. So it's definitely important for us to share this space. And, collaborating with you over the years, you've always been a light. We actually co-wrote one of my favorite songs, Pink House. It's still like one of my top favorites.
Yes, I gotta listen to Pink House.
I was just thinking about that last night.
That is what I was trying to get that song on Renaissance so hard, like so hard.
Ooh.
I was selling my soul, but they didn't like it. But no, I don't know your journey, but I've seen through social that I saw when you were posting about the working out. I saw when you were doing the body positivity discussion, and I really do want to chop it up with you and just find out, again, especially growing up in this industry, like how has that journey been for you? I know one of our first questions was, do you remember a time existing in the world before you knew you were too big? Has weight always been, I won't say a struggle, but has it always been something that has been prioritized for you as far as who you are, or has it always defined you?
Well, I think that, it's sad because when we're born into this world, we're so innocent, we're so pure, and we don't know, and then an outside influence does or says something to totally change our mind, because I never thought I was big until someone called me big. Like, and I was young. I was maybe like 9 years old. Because I developed at an early age, so I was bigger than the other kids, and so it was actually a guy I had a crush on.
Oh, God.
He teased me so bad, and he like called me fat and all this, and that was the first time that I even paid attention to my body, because that's when I became aware, like, okay, they calling me fat or whatever. The other girls look like this, so maybe I am fat. Like, and so from that point, honest to God, I think from that point forward, it's been a struggle between, pardon me. It's been a struggle between me wanting so badly to just believe in myself and be confident versus the world that was showing me that my body was not attractive or whatever. So fast forward to 18, I graduate high school. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to get a record deal, like, period. I just knew it. I just knew, like, I'm 18 now, I'm about to get a deal. And someone said to me, if you want to really take this music thing serious, you need to get serious about your weight and losing weight, because, women are selling sex in this industry. And mind you, that came from someone that I was pretty close to. And it once again, it changed my whole perspective. So then I went through a whole nother phase of like not liking what I saw in the mirror, because I didn't think I was good enough to be an artist. And it's so sad, because when I look back, I wish I was the size I was at that time when they said that. But, I think a lot of it comes from, just unfortunately, people are not taught any better. And it's like, you don't know better until you learn better. So I'm grateful for the younger generations, and just the newer times, and the people who are coming into the industry and coming into our culture and stepping up and speaking up for, hey, we're for equality amongst the body types.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I'm not less of a human because I look like this or whatever. I'm really grateful for that, for people like Lizzo, for people even before Lizzo, for people like Missy, Queen Latifah, people who Kelly Price, people, Biggie, Heavy D. It's like one by one, it's been a brick by brick process. Like one by one, there's been more people to like step up and stand up for that. And so thank God now we're in this world where we have social media. So people see on social media, the more that they're seeing our body types, the more that they're seeing bigger people, the more that they're realizing, oh wait, she big but she can dress, like, or she big but she's gorgeous, like that face is beat. And it's like people are starting to see more and more, like big has nothing to do with you being less of a human or like less acceptable, so that's my spiel.
That's so real, because from being a photographer, being on the other side of the camera for so many years, we've been taught, just industry shit, that we're selling a fantasy, we're selling a fantasy, even from how retouching has progressed from back then to now,
Right.
it's lessened quite a bit, because people are more into, I'm talking about campaign, not these girls doing the Facetune shit, but I'm talking about like in campaigns, it's pulled back because people want to connect with something that's more authentic. But back then it was, we're selling a fantasy. And in doing my work as a photographer and really getting into doing the work of the EveryMan project, I had to push back and ask, well, whose fantasy are we selling? Whose fantasy are we selling? It's a very narrow, Eurocentric fantasy, okay? Because the whole discussion on fat phobia, it ties back to whiteness. That's a whole nother, it's a whole nother podcast in itself. But it was so embedded in the industry, and like me having friends who are models and seeing in real time, seeing them shrink. And these are men who have bodies like Greek gods, but if your shoulders are too broad, you're not fitting into the suits for the season. And to see their agent tell me, like, you're getting fat, you need to lose weight. And I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, shit, if this is fat, what am I worth in this world? And that's the type of shit that really fucks with you and really makes you shrink.
Yeah. That's what I actually wanted to ask you, because I know in my experience, being a songwriter, I started wanting to be an artist, like we probably all did, like, and we are, but I'm just, as far as the trajectory, started wanting to be an artist. I wanted to be Michael. I wanted to be Usher. And the moment somebody told me, like, you're too fat, or like, I don't know, you don't really fit the mold, you don't look like Chris Brown, I started to step backwards and say, well, okay, maybe I'm just a songwriter. Maybe I'm just an engineer. So Tahjere, I'm curious, like for you, what was the initial dream, and how did you at all dial it back? Or were you always like, I'm still the artist, but I just got to figure out how the fuck to get around this craziness? And we can curse, by the way.
Yes, we can.
That part.
Let it rip. Let it out. Let it out.
No, you read my mind. You said something. It's like, I kind of at some point was like, how do I figure out how to make it work? And it's so sad that we have to have that thought. Like, how do I make it work with the body I have now and still like, but anyway, the initial dream was always to be an artist. I mean, that's all that I know, I guess, because literally my mom got her record deal when I was like a newborn baby. Yeah. So that's all I've seen. I've seen her as an artist. You know what? I don't think I made a distinction between the two, because my mom always was a writer too.
Right.
So I didn't even make a distinction. At first I was just like, I'm going to be an artist and I'm going to write my songs. Like, but then I think, then when I started to try and put my music out and stuff, 18, 19, 20, and I started to take meetings with these people, I think at some point, somebody from whatever company did say to me, like, well, you should just start off as a writer. And they didn't make the clear distinction of you should be a writer because you're plus size. But I knew, like, well, you should start off as a writer. A lot of people get their start that way. And so, yeah, when you hear things like that, it just kind of makes you sit back and go, well, why am I not good enough to be an artist? Why am I only good enough to be a songwriter right now? So yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. And there was a period of time where I said, well, I'm just gonna write. And then thank God for friends and people who see your potential, because I have had friends along my journey who stood up for me and fought me like, wait a minute, you're more than that. Like, no, we're going to figure out how to make this work. Shout out to I believe you guys may know Mojo Disco.
Know of Mojo.
Shout out to Mojo. Mojo has been a dear friend of mine for like at least like 14 years now. But Mojo was the first person that like lit a fire in me and made me see that another Aries made me see my potential. And Mojo sketched like this sketch of me, like a recreation of me, right? And like I had like short hair, like a pixie cut, and she drew the outfit, and I was like, oh my God, like I can see myself like that. But then what happened? Fear crept in, and I was, I'm like, girl, no, they ain't gonna buy it, like, so then I gave up again, and then I went into hiding again, and then it's like, I don't want the world to see me this way, so I was hiding for a long time, and now, thank God, we're past that. We, thank God for the people who have like bust the door down. And I, like I said, there's plenty of people in the past, but I will always mention Lizzo because that's the example that I have for like, my generation. She definitely was the person that like made me see the living, breathing example. Like, that's you. Like, you can do it too. So seeing her evolution has really helped me to like be like, okay, you're an artist, bitch. Like, we about to do this.
Did you see the documentary?
I did.
Oh my God.
I loved it.
The part where she talks about, because I related so hard with her as a child, talking about, she wanted to be a singer, but she didn't sound like Beyonce or Lauryn Hill. So she just thought she was a writer.
Yeah.
Even like the duality of like her being a great singer, but also being an incredible rapper, and like what label do you put on yourself and all of that. And actually, I kind of, when I saw that, it made me think about you, because I was introduced to you as a songwriter and as a vocalist, and you're incredible at both, but you are an insane rapper.
Insane.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Sent me, and not that one is better than the other, but just the way we're trained to think, like, and I'm sure, of course, you coming from like, your mother's one of the best singers on the planet. Like, I'm sure it's probably engraved, like, you got to be a singer, and you can be both. But like watching Lizzo deal with that, like, well, what is she? And it's like, bitch, I'm whatever the hell I want to be. I'm a sing today. I'm a rap today.
Yes.
So when I remember one time you sent me, I think we were writing demos for Cardi or something, and you sent me this rap, and I was just like, oh, she's like, and I had the same realization with Amir when we were collaborating. When you realize that people are so much bigger than what they present, and then it brings me back to that mindset of like, oh, we probably were trained to just like, here's a little bit, and there's this big wall of talent back there, and it's like, oh, no. We gotta show. Now I see the star, and I want everybody else to see the star. Like, I need to show up, and you mentioned Mojo drawing you that picture. I literally did a manifestation meditation before this call, which is so crazy. And I was trying to picture myself in rooms of people that I admired, and the person I saw was like the superhero version of me. And I was like, why is it not this version of me? And it's that mindset of like, the person who deserves it is not this shell. Why the fuck not? Mm-hmm. Why am I picturing super Yanni with abs and a cool jacket? Like, no. Why is it not this version?
Right.
So all of that hits me, and it brings me back to that idea of like, yo, you're the star right now. You're the super talent right now. You're the superpower right now. How can we empower each other to own that? And I think these conversations are huge. I think collaborating more is huge, and just really empowering each other, because ain't nobody else doing it for us.
Absolutely. Empowering each other is a big one. Like, and just keeping that energy around you is so important. Like, I'm kind of a loner, honestly. I spend a lot of time alone, but I've realized like I'm my happiest when I'm around people who uplift me and understand me, can relate to me, So I've been pushing myself to collaborate more and do more of this, having conversations. And, absolutely. It's important to keep like that solid tribe around you.
It's so important to have a good tribe because those are the people you turn to when you're not in the best space. You know what I mean? You're only as good as the people that you keep around you. And if you have a tribe of just like negative energy around you, you're gonna soak all of that in, and that's gonna stunt your potential. You know what I mean? So it's so important to be in alignment with people who have like similar values as you, and people who uplift you, people who push you, people who challenge you to be better, people who challenge you to step outside your comfort zone. Because if you don't have that, you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna grow.
Yep. And I've been learning that too. This month was the month just started, but one of my exercises for the month was making a list of people that I have felt that around and maybe I don't connect with as much, and trying to connect with them more, because I relate with that. I am a loner too. And being in this industry, it can be hard because a lot of times we are interacting with people in the context of trying to get something done or trying to leverage. And I'm an empath, and sometimes I feel that energy of like, this person thinks I'm going to be able to help them, or can they feel that I think I need, like, all of that. And I'm like, okay, you know what, this month, let me just really focus on good energy. I don't need anything from anybody. Let me just pour into people. Let's go for lunch. Just grab, because I didn't know how to do that for so long. I would hit people to hang out, and they're like, cool, when's the session? And I'm like,
right.
I just wanted coffee. Like, I can't put you in the studio. Like, shit, I need to get into a studio. So I relate to that a lot. But to Amir's point, I think it is, especially with the work that you're doing and the work that a lot of us have been doing, when you really move with intentionality, you do attract those people who are on the same wavelength. And that's how I attracted working with Amir and the collaboration that we've had. Because I was just like, I had all these people around me, and they were great, but I wasn't super connected to anybody. And I would a lot of times feel kind of lost. And I was like, there has to be a better way to do this.
Absolutely.
Like, this is too much. And then of course the added pressure of just like, where do I fit in? I don't see anybody that looks like me. I don't see anybody who appreciates what I'm doing. Where do I go to find that? Because that's the next level of it too, right? When they tell us that we're not the star, or we're not the, whatever the case may be, I don't want your voice, I don't want your look. You have to kind of find those places, because if not, you're just like, well, maybe they're right.
Right. Exactly.
I am curious with your experience. I know you mentioned, a boy in school had kind of made you first aware of your size and kind of that trajectory. But I'm also just curious, growing up in the industry, it was, outside of just trying to become an artist and dealing with that, did you see that with like the women in your life? Is that something that maybe you saw mirrored in your mom's career, some of the people close to you dealing with sort of weight and the pressures of the world as well?
Yeah, my mom for sure. Because, like I said, she had just had me when she got signed. And so she was under a lot of pressure to lose that baby weight, when she first came out. And then I saw it again when she had my brother. So her second pregnancy, she was at like the peak of her career. And they're like, you're pregnant. Like, what do you mean? So like as soon as she had the baby, she kind of was pressured to go do whatever she had to do to fit into the outfit, to shoot the video, and then she had her third child, same thing. And at that point, I was old enough when she had my second brother. This is like 1998. So I remember more during that pregnancy, after she had him, seeing her work out nonstop, like drinking the protein shakes and taking whatever supplement, so I just had an epiphany. I just realized a lot of my journey too has been repeating things that I've seen her do. I never thought about it like that.
That's why I asked, because I was curious if that was something that was kind of engraved, not engraved, but you do what you see. So I was curious.
Yeah, but I swear to you, I never thought about that until just now.
Wow.
Like, yeah, because I repeated those same things. Like I would like binge like not binge, but like go crazy working out for like 2 weeks straight. Like I gotta drop 15 pounds, like, you know, or like, oh, I'm only drinking Slim Fast. I'm only eating apples. Like, you know, I'm taking hydroxycut or whatever. Like, yeah. And I definitely got that from seeing my mom. And, you know, that's not to say that she, you know, intentionally set that example for me. It's just sad because she only did what she felt that she had to do for the industry. So, yeah.
Especially during that time in the industry, which was just
Right.
like immensely fat phobic, very toxic to
Well, I was thinking the opposite actually, because as you were saying that, I'm thinking like I was trying to think of the time frame, and I'm like, yes, but because I know Kelly Price's story which was insane about labels turning her down, but then but then of course she had success around that same time, Missy, Queen Latifah. So it is curious to try to put ourselves in that time frame and wonder like, damn, was it only certain women they were pressuring, like certain, you know,
Right.
like
Well, think about this. Think about this though, like, because you said it earlier, it's definitely harder for women because they didn't pressure Heavy D to lose weight. They didn't pressure Biggie to lose weight.
Nope.
You know, they were like, we're gonna embrace this. You're gonna be the fly, fat black dude, like, you know. But for women, there's definitely a pressure. With Kelly, I mean, I think that if you're blessed enough to have that one person believe in you enough and see your potential enough, because, you know, she was shrinking herself back. And Ron Isley was like, you an artist. You go stand up there and sing. So thank God for him who saw that potential in her talent and was like, I'm gonna sign you. You know, I guess just not everyone thinks the same, you know? Like think about who my mom was signed to. You know, Puff is very much about the aesthetic. He's very much about the look, you know. So so that was their different stories. You know, Kelly was in a position where somebody signed her who was like, yeah, we ain't paying attention to your weight. As a matter of fact, when we put your single out, we're not even gonna put your face on the cover. We just want people to fall in love with your voice. And they strategically did that. But over here at the other label, they're like, no, they need to see you. They need to image, blah, blah, blah. So because he was in the business of creating that aesthetic and the stars, you know? So I really just think it's about, you know, who ends up being your like guardian angel, I guess, in the industry. Like who is it that you end up signing with or whatever, or I don't know.
No, that's true. I sent Amir yesterday an interview of Aubrey O'Day. She was on Tamara Hall's show, and just like unrecognizable. And of course, I have no shame to getting work done or anything, but it's that same coming from that same world of like there has to be an aesthetic, and it impacts everybody differently. So to see her go to such an extreme because that was engraved in her so early, I felt for her because she was defending herself, photoshopping her pictures and her look, and it was like, damn, like you don't realize how much this affects people long term. You know, especially the people who are willing to do anything to kind of fit whatever the look is. So
right.
And she's super talented. She was a superstar before all of that, but you know, you're only as strong as what you're up against, I guess.
Yeah, and you're only as strong as, this goes back to what we said about having the right people around you. You're only as strong as the people that are helping to uplift you and hold you up too, you know? Because, you know, let's just say if I sign to someone and they're forcing me to lose weight or look like this, if I got the right people around me who are like, girl, don't listen to them. We're going to do it like this, blah, blah, blah. You're fine. You're fine how you are. Like, if I have the right people around me, then I'm going to be propped up by them. And I'm not going to be listening to what nobody else is saying.
Right.
So
yeah,
that tribe is important, man.
that's
The sad part is not a lot of people have that support.
no.
Yeah,
That's really the sad part.
No.
Yeah.
Tell us about Love University. What is that?
So, okay. So as you mentioned, I started doing these lives about body positivity. It came about so random, honestly. I was inspired by a video that I saw on Instagram. And again, this year for me has just been all about pushing myself like out of my comfort zone. So when I saw this little clip of someone talking about body shaming or whatever, I just heard a little voice say, go live. And for me, that was like, because I don't go live. Like, I don't. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I just did it. I put it together. I did it. And I knew once I reached out to other people to go live with me that there was no turning back. It's like, because I don't want to be the person who's like, oh, never mind, I'm canceling. No, no, no. I had to force myself to do it. So immediately when I got the idea, I was like, will you go live with me? Will you go live with me? And so we did it. I had the live conversation, and then I just heard another voice say, do another one. So I did another one. Then I did my third one. And then I was like, there's something here. Like the response that I was getting from that was greater than anything I've ever posted, honestly. So then I said, well, how do I make this bigger? Like what is the point? And it like, honest to God, I was driving and it just like came to me, start a Instagram page, call it Love University, make it all about self-love and self-care and blah blah blah. And it's still in development because like shoot, I'm still trying to figure out how to brand my artist page.
It's a lot.
I'm still trying to figure out how exactly to like brand it and everything and what type of content that I want to share. But I just had to start the page just so that I can have it in the back of my mind at all times. Like, okay, let's build this up and develop it. But overall, what I aim for it to be is, like a safe space, a community where, like, we're talking about that tribe, like all, the tribe of people that are all on that same journey. And if you follow this page, if you're commenting on these posts, then you're part of that tribe. You're part of, this group of people who are on that journey of self-love and self-healing. There's going to be people who are teachers, and there's going to be people who are students, people who are further along on their journey, and people who need you to reach down and give them a hand up. But I want to create that space though. So that's really what it is for me. And the university part, like I just kind of came up with that because I didn't finish college, and I always kind of had this like regret about not finishing college. And so I like I said, this year was very reflective. So one of the things that came to me this year was like life was my college. Like life was my school. I learned so many incredible lessons. And so it's like, let's look at things that way. Like this is a school where we're going to teach those, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And so that's what it's all about. I'm really excited to continue building it and, officially like launch. But yeah, we in the game.
I love that. I love that because a lot of the things you said were the same things that inspired me to start the EveryMan project. And I fully identify with there's you have to lean all the way in because there's no turning back. And for me, it took me a while to do the project. I had the idea for like a year and a half. It took me a minute to want to lean all the way in because I knew in doing that, you're at the forefront of it. So, and then in doing this work in the space of like body positivity and like fat liberation activism, like I wanted to ask you, how do you pour into yourself and still be a voice of support for others? How do you find that balance? Because that's something I personally have struggled with off and on through the 5 years of doing EveryMan, but I wanted to hear from you. How do you find that balance?
Well, I think the key is to be honest, because honestly, that's where a lot of people struggle. They're not honest with the world. They're not honest with themselves, and even in the scope of body positivity, you have a lot of people who are like, yes, I'm body positive. I love myself. But then they go home and look in the mirror and cry because they don't like what they see. So that's what I want to start having honest conversations, because at the end of the day, yes, it's about body positivity, but I think that we now are at a point where we have to kind of redefine what body positivity really is, because you have some people who may kind of lean on that as a crutch to be destructive. Now, don't be destructive now. Don't make, if you know in your mind, I'm hurting myself when I do this, whatever that is for you, don't continue to do something that's is making you sick or making you depressed or making you whatever. So it's like we have to also be honest, hold each other accountable. It's more than that. Like, it's more than just, oh, let's hold hands and it's more than just let's hold hands and be fat together. Like,
no, stop that at all.
I feel like no, but some people, especially outsiders, they think that's what we are. They think that's what body positivity is. A bunch of fat people, like, we're fat.
No, I agree with you 100%, because in doing this work, I've gotten a lot of criticism. I've gotten a lot of pushback, and people tell me, "Oh, you're promoting obesity." I'm like,
no,
I'm
right.
not promoting
I hate when they say that. I'm not promoting obesity. What I'm doing is helping to uplift someone who looks like me, because in uplifting the next person, you are able to, you're lifting their energy, you're lifting their vibration so that they start to feel better when they step into this world. Because yes, you might be in a season right now where you look a certain way, but that does not have to be the end of your story. That doesn't have to be the end of your journey or the end of your life. I have someone who DMs me, and he told me like how my lives have really helped him, because he gained all this weight and he's been locking himself in the house and he doesn't go anywhere and he doesn't do anything. And that resonated with me because I went through that. I went through like a whole period from like 2013 to 2016 where I don't have no pictures of myself. I don't even remember what happened in those years. I don't know, because I was trying to shut myself away from the world. So that's why I embrace the body positivity movement, because it's like, no, we still have to live a life. We still have to live, and we still deserve to be happy. We still deserve to go out, to wear a nice dress, whether it's form fitting or this. We don't have to hide from the world. Right. That's what it's about. It's not promoting obesity. It's just encouraging each other. It's like, we don't have to hide ourselves. We don't have to lock ourselves away. We can still live life and be happy. And guess what? In turn, what I found, just by having my energy uplifted, naturally, I start making better choices for myself. Naturally, I'm like, bitch, I want a salad.
Yeah.
Naturally,
there
I'm
it
like,
is.
Let's go hiking. Like, naturally, because I'm with a group of people who don't make me feel intimidated. Right. Who, Yep. So, I preach this now.
You hit me church. You taking me to church. And to add to your point about body positivity, I think it's two terms for me, because you have body positivity and fat liberation. And like, body positivity, I feel, is for the self. It's for getting that confidence. It's feeling comfortable in your body no matter what size you are, learning how to love yourself, learning how to pour into yourself. Because people love to tell you, go to the gym. But what happens when you go to the gym? What happens when everyone's staring at you? Yeah. What happens when everyone makes you feel less than, when you're trying to show up and do something for yourself? You have people that come to you, yeah, big man, keep going. You don't know me to call me big man. You don't know me.
Right.
or the men that come up to you at the gym while you're lifting weights, like, nah, big man, let me help. Like it that, and people don't realize like that's like demeaning. That's belittling. Like you don't know me. You know what I mean? My name is not fucking big man. Okay, I might happen to be a man who's big, but that ain't my fucking name. And people don't realize when you say those things, like those microaggressions, like that really can damage somebody. And so
absolutely.
That's why body positivity is important. But then there's fat liberation. I feel like,
which I want to know more about because I've never heard that term.
Yeah, so fat liberation essentially is a term that's kind of been around for a while, but I think now the reason why I'm leaning into it more because I feel like the term body positivity has been co-opted by so many brands to do diversity campaigns that are not that diverse. Because when you see those campaigns where, oh yeah, we're embracing every size, and you see the tokenism that happens where they might pick one person who's like a 2X, who's racially ambiguous, that checks all the boxes, and they think that's inclusion. And a lot of brands have commodified body positivity. And then you also have a lot of people in the space that aren't necessarily doing anything to push the culture forward. I feel with fat liberation, that's what we can take to the government to affect change in terms of how we get treated as fat people when we go to a doctor. When people look at us and automatically assume that, oh, you have this, and that, let's put you on this medication before you ain't even do blood work on me. But you looking at my BMI, which
literally just happened to me on Thursday.
Wow.
Continue. I'm sorry, but that just happened to me.
And then when they look at your BMI, which is a whole system that is completely inept in analyzing anything, because it was a system that was created by a white mathematician that was only surveyed on white men. That's why someone could be considered obese. When you look at them, it's like, how are you considered obese? It's because this is a very outdated system. And with fat liberation, that's how we can change how we're treated when we go to a doctor, or how people treat us in society. Because it's not about acceptance. I don't need you to accept me, bitch. I'm here. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's the difference between the two. I feel like body positivity is for the self. Fat liberation, that's more so challenging brands to do more inclusive sizing. You know what I mean? Like, and I think they both go hand in hand. And I think it's important to be conscious of how you're moving in both spaces and being conscious of your intention.
Absolutely.
Well, I think
intention is everything.
Everything. Do nothing without intention.
Right.
That part.
Listen, I just watched the Quinta Brunson and Oprah interview, and they did a whole segment on intention, and it reminded me why everything that we're doing right now is so important, because that really is the intention. And going back to what you were saying about just being able to live a life where you feel uplifted, you make positive changes, you make positive choices, you make decisions that are good for you instead of making them in shame, in fear. Nobody want to go to the gym because they feel ashamed. No, you want to go feel good. You want to go
feel good.
Your energy's gonna be up. You want to go because you're doing it for yourself. Not because somebody made you feel bad. So I think that's super important, and that's been such a big intention for me. And I think with the music that Amir and I have been doing, with the people we've been connecting with, it's just been this energy of just wanting to uplift and empower. So it feels really good to have conversations like this and see that so many of us are on the same trajectory of like, nah, I'm not hiding no more. I'm not sad no more. I'm really trying to move in joy and with intention. So that's definitely.
And speaking of the music, y'all go stream Can't Compete. Okay. I was in love with that song when you first sent it to me. And I was like, oh my God, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? And I'm so happy it's out, because I shit you not, I play that song every day. Like, it really feels good. So whatever intention y'all had when you were making this record, it definitely translates, because it is so empowering. Like, it makes me feel like a bad bitch.
Yes.
It makes me feel like I'm a Naomi Campbell out this bitch. Okay. I love this record. Love it. Can't Compete.
Thank you. Her first response to me actually was, who produced this? I think that was the first message.
I was like,
who produced this?
Yeah.
It me.
It me.
So we need to work.
We need to work.
What's happening?
Oh no, we're working. No, that's happening because like I've seen your freestyles and you get busy, okay? And I am here for all of this shit. I'm here with it. And then reading your bio, I hear that you produce as well.
I do. You
I
know,
love
production
that.
though. Production. What do you produce on?
I use Logic.
Okay, I use Logic too.
Okay.
And here's another thing. A lot of people used to make me feel really bad about using Logic. Like, oh, you need to learn this, you need to learn that. And so maybe that's been a lesson for me, is not listening to the outside world, because I kind of like sat back from producing because I felt like my beats weren't good. But I'm just now like really getting back into it though, because it's like I can do it all.
And I want to support you in every way possible in that, because I firmly believe we need more women in the space of music production, because there's barely any. So if you need anything from me, like any production things, like I got you, because
I appreciate that.
And I was even talking to my homegirl who did my braids. Now they ain't, this is a week old, so but they were fresh a week ago. But the girl who does my braids name is Benga Braid. Shout out to Benga Braid. She's a DJ as well, and she's getting into music production. I told her, like, please call me.
Because I just said I want to get into DJing.
Do it.
I'm trying to be a quadruple, quintuple threat.
a multi-hyphenate bad bitch.
I was about to say, I think Amir got a record for that. I think you need to send that to her.
I'm gonna send it to her.
Yes, please.
I just got excited. Wait, speaking of music, because I know we're running, but I want to know, because you said you're working on music. What's up with your music? What have you been working on?
Well, I have been working on a mixtape, you know, just a little something to hype them up, you know, because, and I think this was briefly mentioned earlier, but yeah, like I always kind of saw myself more as a singer, and I never really realized how dope I was as a rapper. So once I started to rap more and saw the response that I was getting from rapping, I'm like, okay, so clearly we need to do a project of like rapping. But at the same time, though, it's like I do want to learn how to integrate both, and not feel like, because I think where I'm at right now, it's like sometimes I feel like I have to separate them. And I'm still like working through that, of figuring out like how to just be this one thing and I can do it all, you know? But I do feel like there are a lot of people out there who still don't know what my rap skills are like. So I want to hit them with like a old school like mixtape, like an 03, like a Lil Wayne, you know, Drake mixtape. So I'm working on that, like just like 12 records, you know. I did a freestyle over I Gets Crazy. I did one over whatever. So I'm really trying to like create this little world where I'm like this new rapper coming out, but it's like 2005. I'm putting myself back in time.
Look, we are on the same page, because everything that Amir and I have been creating, we keep joking that we've been making it for the kid versions of us that used to flip back and forth between 106 and Park and TRL.
Yes.
And just really empowering ourselves to get into those bags so heavily, because it's like those are really the eras that we grew up on, that we didn't see ourselves a part of. Like nobody looked like us outside of like maybe Missy. Like we didn't see plus size representation. We definitely didn't see queer representation. Like so it's cool, it's cool to be empowered now and say like, oh, let me go back and touch on that. Like that's my roots. So for you to do the Remy Ma record and fucking like 03, 05, that's gonna be fire. Like
I'm ready for
Yeah, I'm
that.
excited. I was I was hoping to drop it this month, but I'm such a perfectionist. Like I overthink. But I just want it to be like, I want it to be like, boom, who is that? Like, I want everybody to be talking about it. So I'm just, I'm taking my time to perfect it. But when it drops, it's gonna be, it's over. It's a wrap.
I'm ready. I'm ready. And we are collaborating 100%.
Yeah.
I want to send you beats. I want to make
Yeah.
beats with you. Let's do it.
I'm down for
I'm
that.
out here. I need
You
to
gotta come to
pull up
LA
on you.
sometime.
I'm coming in January.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll be out there. Yes. Yeah, I just booked a few shoots. I'm gonna be buying my plane ticket within the next week or so. So I'll be out there around the 23rd.
Oh, that's perfect. I think that might be around Grammy time too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Damn, we kind of I love this conversation because it's like we've naturally kind of flown through all the points I wanted to hit. But I do want to ask, just to kind of bring it back and kind of just to brand it a little bit. How are you outside of the music and the university? Like, how do you really feel like in this next era of your career, of your life? How are you intentionally going to be taking up space going forward, and how are you going to continue to dream big? Like, what's that look like for you?
Man, just no boundaries, no limits, I think that I have placed myself in so many boxes for too long. Oh, I'm just a writer, or I'm a singer, but I'm plus size, so I gotta dress like this. Or, it's like, no, there's no limits on anything. I'm saying what I want to say. I'm dressing how I want to dress. I'm gonna let my hair down. I'm gonna carry myself, with pride and with confidence, because I'm like said, I'm doing it for the younger version of me who felt like I had to shrink. So moving forward, no more of that. I'm releasing fear. I'm releasing doubt. I'm releasing all of those self-sabotaging behaviors that have just truly held me back. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And yeah, the sky is the limit for real. Like, in terms of all of those dreams that I've always had in me, and unfortunately, all of those counteracting negative thoughts that tried to kill all of those dreams. It's like they're all raising from the dead, and we all about to walk into this motherfucker. Like, we here.
Elbows.
All. I'm singing, I'm rapping, I'm producing, I'm writing your favorite singer's songs, I'm dancing, I'm about to start acting, I want to do a talk show, I want to host a talk show, I want to write a book, I want to do a docuseries, I want to do it all.
Do it.
So that's where we at. We about to do it all.
And guess what? You could come here for each project you drop in and talk about it.
Yeah. Yep.
I
love all of that. Like, you truly just spoke to my spirit right now. Like, because that's been the space we've been creating, and it's like no boundaries. Like, I want to be able to like bend genres and like have fun and like really create music and like really just take up space and just fuck it up.
Yes.
Just fuck it up.
Because when you fuck around, you find out.
Right.
Oh man, yes. I love this for us. Tahjere, do you have anything else you want to plug before we go?
No, just be anticipating, you know what I'm saying? Whatever drops, whenever it drops, just be ready.
I'm ready.
Look, when it drops, the timing is going to be perfect. So you take your time, you perfect it. I think that there's no rush on being authentic, and like you said earlier, living in truth. And I think it's beautiful to know that you are uplifting yourself in this way, that you are embracing yourself, and that you are going to be putting that into music, and that we are going to be collaborating on music. And
yes,
I'm excited to just see what the next year holds for all of us, because 2022 kicked everyone's ass, but I think
it sure kicked mine.
We came out of it Rocky style.
Right.
For whatever's next. So
2023 is about to be our year.
I'm saying,
it's our Jordan year.
I'm it is a Jordan year. I'm very intuitive. I feel it already. Like I feel like I'm in summer 23. Like I feel it's gonna be a crazy year in a good way. Trust me.
Up. It's up.
It's up and it's stuck.
It's up. Like I literally told myself this morning when I woke up, because my 2020 was about to be really sweet and it just got snatched away from me. And I told myself, I'm going to have the year I was supposed to have, but 5 times better than I ever thought 2020 would have been had COVID never happened. I said, you know what, I'm going to have the year I was supposed to have, but 5 times fucking better.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what's crazy? It was the same for me too, actually. 2020 started off amazing. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, oh my God, this is about to be my year for real. Like it was so much great stuff happening, and then COVID.
I was literally in the process of moving to LA.
Oh wow.
And I had to come home.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll still welcome you.
I'll be out there. I'm coming. I'm coming.
We got some shit to do.
We have a lot of things to do.
And yes. You know what? Speaking of having a year snatched away or that sensation, again, watching the Quinta Brunson and Oprah interview, they were talking about, because Quinta's 32 and Oprah was telling her, I was 32 when my career got started. And she said, you know what's beautiful about getting it at that level of your life or at that age? She said, the beauty is that you'll be ready for it. And I received that because I was like, oh, you know, it's so internalized that we're supposed to hit this shit young, out the park, get it. And 25 hits, you not there. 27 hits, 30 hits. You're like, what the fuck? But the flip side of that is that when it hits, if you've been doing the work, you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Out of here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Out of here.
Because think of the people who started off when they were however young, 17 or whatever, 20, and they're like done by the time they're 30.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so because they were too young, like they still didn't, it was so much they didn't learn, you know, in order to sustain whatever they may have had. And so that's what I truly feel like. I'm grateful for all of this time that I took, because it's like marinating a steak or something, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
because you have a stronger sense of who you are now, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think, and when you're going into that space, you know who you are, and people can't tell you who you are. And I think when you get into entertainment at like 16, 17, 18, you have no clue who the fuck you are. And you have all of these people who are supposed to have your best interests at heart molding you, but essentially they're just trying to profit off of you. And I remember in an interview they asked Madonna, you know, about her experience getting into music and in comparison to Britney Spears. And Madonna was like, well, I started my career at 25. And I'm grateful that I did, because I had a stronger sense of who I was. I was able to be 18, 19, reckless, and not have a camera in my face, you know?
Exactly.
It's tough. I've met a few artists who I've admired, who I saw get started young, and I was really blessed to work with them. But just seeing them on the other side of that, the people that didn't have the greatest support systems, and they're exhausted. And it's like, damn, they're only like 23, 24, but they ran them through the ringer from 13 and they're like ready to retire. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad, like, you know, no sense of themselves, just not even present. And that's what this industry will do to you if you're not have a strong sense of self. So it's almost like we've kind of been dealt different cards, but if we're smart, we've kind of been dealt better cards, because we had to get to here. And look, I mean, we wouldn't probably be as multi-hyphen if we didn't have all the obstacles. I wouldn't have learned how to rap or write if they told me out the gate, yes, here's a deal, 13, go. Like, I would have learned all of this shit, you know? So we're better for it, but it's definitely important to take stock and be prepared, because the opposite could be getting there and being like, shit, I got all this baggage now. I got to figure it out. And we've seen it with Lizzo. We've seen it with Tiffany Haddish. These women get the world they want, and they're like, oh, shit, I didn't deal with none of this. And luckily, they have the support systems, and we get to see them actively work through it. And I think that's why they're both such big inspirations for me, because you see them get the world and be like, oh, wait a minute. let me take a step back. Let me go do some
Mm-hmm.
healing.
Listen, if I was in the industry at 18, it would have been a hot mess. Yeah. It would have been a train wreck because I was very impressionable and like naive at that time. And yeah, that's why they want to get them young so that they can manipulate them. And, you know, it would have been a hot mess. So,
I've been watching the Demi Lovato documentaries, and it's so sad to watch just like her not fail, but her fall off so many times because they started her so young. And they don't care. They just like, go to rehab so we can put you back on tour. And she's like, okay. And you see her every documentary sitting there like, well, I'd relapsed again. And it's like, what the like, you know, super talented, gorgeous, but she doesn't have the infrastructure to really be able to bounce back every time. And you see her each time like, oh shit, like, but they started her so young.
Right. And we see it with so many stars, like, unfortunately, a Michael Jackson, you know, Whitney. Like, I feel like we've heard a lot about Whitney's story coming out. You know, I think her brothers said, like, oh, we all started doing drugs together when we were like teenagers. You know, I feel like I haven't heard exactly what I want to hear from Michael Jackson's story, because I feel like he was like 9 years old. When he first blew, you know, when the Jackson's 5 took off, who knows what they got him on at such a young age, you know? So that's what's so heartbreaking. So yeah, if it weren't for, you know, I wish they were still with us. And if it weren't, you know, maybe they just didn't have that tribe, didn't have those people around them to help keep them grounded. So I'm grateful for people like you guys and, you know, a couple good friends of mine that I feel like, okay, I'm starting to find my people, you know? So yeah.
And you don't need a lot of people either, I'm learning. You just need a couple of good people. And just focusing, always bringing it back to yourself and just remembering what you need, what you're putting out, making sure that, again, intention, leading with intention, especially when you're attracting new people, because it can be very easy, especially for us who we've kind of been looking for so long, to be like, yes, I found somebody. And I feel like I did some of that when I first got to LA. Like, I found people. Okay.
Right.
And then realizing like there's a lot of holes here. And I'm falling through all of them. Like, so this is, it's definitely important. And I think, again, bringing it back to the whole point of it all, telling our stories is what is going to attract our tribe. Because we might have these conversations internally, and me and Amir talk about this all the time, because there's certain things that we discuss internally where we're like, should we say that on the pod? Should we? And it's like, yeah, those are the things people need to hear when we're ready, of course. But like, sometimes we don't realize, just because the monologue is nonstop in our heads, nobody else knows what we're going through.
Right.
And it's just bringing that to the surface and letting people realize, like, oh shit, okay, like, you know, we need each other. I need to stop, you know, shrinking and expand. And I feel like we're all in these really great expansion periods. So that's why Dream Big has been so significant for us. And then of course, Amir being from Brooklyn and Biggie. I got my Biggie shirt on, by the way, under here.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's dope.
Dream big. You know, we're trying to keep our dreams big and limitless. So
absolutely,
I love this for us. I love this for us. Amir,
and I appreciate you guys really quick. Just want to say I appreciate you guys for this platform and what you're doing. And, you know, Amir, you as a photographer, your work is amazing. The EveryMan project, I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, so, you know, just encouraging us to keep doing what we're doing, because we're on the right path for sure.
Yes, I appreciate both of y'all. This has been really moving, but I felt that it would be.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
He said it before we even picked the date. Speaking of attention, Amir said, I know that interview is going to make me feel really good. And it did. I mean, for me.
Yes.
So, but we set that intention. So I'm really excited for the world to hear this. I don't have any closing thoughts.
I don't either. Stream can't compete.
Yes.
Chyna, tell the people where they could find you.
So you can find me on social media at Tahjere Official. That is Tahjere Official. I don't really use Twitter, but I'm on there. TikTok, Instagram.
Yes.
Love
Alright.
it.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I'm excited for the future. It's gonna be great. We'll make some cool shit.